Good morning, good morning, good morning, Rise and Grind Tribe. I hope everybody can hear me. I've got in headphones and I'm actually at my house. So if y'all could tell me if you could hear the volume, I would really appreciate it. So I'll wait to hear if y'all can hear me as I'm coming live from my house this morning, filling in for the one and only Glenn Lundy. Liza, can you hear me fine? Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning. Can everybody hear me fine? Would somebody give me a thumbs up or Archie, can you hear me fine? Good morning, Ben. Okay, awesome. That's what I want to hear. So first of all, good morning. My name is Scott Simons. I am filling in for our dear friend Glenn Lundy. Glenn had an opportunity come up that he couldn't pass up, so he called me yesterday, and I'm going to take y'all through that journey when you get a phone call from a friend of yours and says, "Hey Scott, you know what? I need you to go on this show that has 30,000 members at 5:30 in the morning and fill in for me." And I'm going to take you through that process, what it feels like, some of the nervousness you go through, some of the just what you go through. But my production team and I have been up working on this. It actually was my son and daughter. And let me tell you what we came up with. So today, so I won't forget my days, is Wednesday. We've got real fancy graphics here. You know, we worked on this all night long. So today is Wednesday, November 28th, 2018. It is the first time and the last time that'll ever be November 28th, 2018. I am the guest host for Glenn Lundy. My name is Scott Simons. If y'all are ready, it is time to rise and grind. Obviously, our budget, is a little tight. We had Eric Thomas on a couple of weeks ago, and he takes up the major budget, so I come on for free, so I'm a bargain. But I'm just kidding. What an honor and pleasure it is to be here with each and every one of you this morning. There's a lot of people that are here every single morning that I consider really good friends of mine, that we call and we do life together and we text message each other and we send in, to inspire and uplift each other on a daily basis. And I want y'all to know something. Each one of you that are on this show has made a positive impact in my life. You've made me a better person. You've made me a better human being. You've made me look at the world a little bit differently. And, roughly a year ago, this group has changed my life. And I want to thank each and every one of you for playing a role in my life. I'm one of the luckiest human beings on the planet that I don't deserve some of the things that I have in my life and some of the success that I have. And I want to thank each and every one of you that have become really good friends of mine. And I'm going to do the very best I possibly can to bring value this morning to each and every one of you. And I just want to tell you from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. But my production team, was up quite a bit, was up late last night putting those together. I don't have any real cool videos. I'm not smart enough to do that stuff. My video person didn't come over and help me. I don't even have any music. I'm a terrible singer, and I really can't dance. So we're in trouble because Glenn brought, he brings the pump up music and everything like that. So I'm gonna roll with what I've got. You've got to roll with what God gave you. So again. My name is Scott Simons. I'm the guest host of what is going to be the #1 morning show in America. It's 5:30, and it's time for us to get up and get after it and make a positive impact in this world. I am a husband to one. I am a father to 5. And a lot of people say, father to 5. What do you mean father to 5? You've only got 2 kids. Well, I've got 2 dog rescues and I got a cat. So I've actually got 5. I got 2 humans and 3 pets. And, don't judge me. I am a cat person. and probably my cat Charlie is probably my favorite family member. I love that cat's orange, and it's not really, good looking cat. And I love that cat. He kind of just keeps to himself and, kind of lives in his own world. But I am a father to 5, and my son may be getting a gecko for Christmas. So then I will be a father to 6. I know Glenn's at 7. I don't know if I'll ever catch him, but I will be, a father to 6 when we get this lizard coming up. So please don't tell my son we're getting him a lizard for Christmas. So I am the managing partner and president of Valley Automotive Group, located in Stanton, Virginia. I have 180 employees that I work with, that I do life with, and I am the luckiest person in the world because I work with some of the best people in the world. I am part of Carter Myers Automotive Group. My partner is Carter Myers with Liza Borges, and Liza gave me an opportunity many years ago that changed not only my life, changed my family's life, and changed quite a few people's lives. Our employees, we are ESOP, so our employees own 25% of our company, and we work for and with some of the best people in the world. So I'm one of the luckiest people in the world, and I'm so honored that Glenn would think about me, a boy from a holler in southern West Virginia, to get on here, and do life with you this morning. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the very best I can. And sorry, Liza, it is 26%. You're exactly right. So this is the part of the show. I don't have any music, so guys, we're going to have to go with it. What I want y'all to do for me in the comments, if you would be so kind, is if you would say where you're from. I know that this group, there's 85 of us in here right now. If you would share this feed out, I promise you that I'm going to bring as much value as I possibly can, and I'm going to pour my heart and soul into this, just like I do everything else in my life, into my friends, into my family, into my work, into everything that I do. So if you would please share this feed out. Let's see if we can't get it above 100. In the comments, if you would just say, where you're from. Just say, like, give example, I'm from Stanton, Virginia. If we would just put in the comments where you're from, I'm just curious as I'm going through this, where you're from. I see a lot of my dear friends are on here this morning getting up and showing support for this group and me, and I sincerely appreciate it. So this is the part where we're all going to say good morning to each other. So if you'll say good morning to me, I'm going to say good morning to you. And I'm going to try to read some of these names as they are coming through, because there's quite a few people in here this morning. So, of course, I see my friend Vicki Everett. Casey, good morning to you. Gail B. Craft, good morning to you. Mr. Ray Hatcher, I love you, brother. Good morning. Sean Jones, Richmond, Virginia, good to see you. Vicki, I love Vicki Everett. She's always so kind to everybody in this group, and she's... That lady is just, she makes your life better. Archie, good morning, sir. Melissa, good morning. Patrick from Louisville, good morning. I tell you, we've got quite a few people in here. Elizabeth, good morning. Sean Hayes just popped in, which is someone that I really admire and respect. I probably wouldn't be on social media if it wasn't for Sean Hayes. I owe a lot to Sean. Rob, good morning from Indiana. John Allen from Michigan. Chad from Pittsburgh, PA. Of course, Liza from Charlottesville, where our home base is at. Jeff, Spring Lake, good morning, Jeff. Great to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. Tony with the keys, good morning. If I was smart enough, I would have FaceTimed you in and had you sing this morning for everybody, so they wouldn't have to listen. They wouldn't have to listen to me. Good morning, Sean. So if everybody would please share this out for me, and if you would say where you're from, that way we can all, interact. And not only would you say good morning to me, but would you say good morning to these people in this group? When you say good morning to somebody and you smile and you compliment, you never know what that individual is going through. And when if you could pour life into them and show that you care about them, man, it goes a long way. Sometimes just a simple good morning, sometimes a simple, hey, how are you doing today, can make a big impact in somebody's life. So if you here, and if you would say, good morning to them, it may make a huge difference in their life. Good morning, Ben. I love you too, brother. So what am I going to talk about this morning? First of all, I'm gonna say just a couple things. Where I'm from. I'm originally from McDowell County, West Virginia. Why this is important is I think that we should never forget where we came from. I'm a proud West Virginian. I happen to live in Virginia now, but I'll always be from West Virginia. The county that I'm from, McDowell County, West Virginia, is the poorest county in the country. I was not going to allow where I lived dictate my dreams and where I wanted to be. I always felt like that I wanted, and I knew I could be successful, but I knew that I would have to work hard for it. I knew that I would have to treat people with respect. And I knew that if I worked really, really hard and did everything exactly right, that I may make something out of myself one day, so I have a wife named Kelly. We met when I was 17 and she was 15. She deserves the highest honor bestowed to any human being for going through this journey of life with me. I've made mistakes. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes every day. I've done things that I'm not proud of, and I never did pay the ultimate price. Oh, yes, and I have got to say, good morning, Josh. I know that was terrible, but that's all that I've got. Thank you for reminding me, Vicki. And my kids, my cat and my dogs are probably going to come down here and kill me shortly. So if I happen to go offline, that means I woke them all up and I'm out of here. So I'm going to give you all I've got while I've got it. But anyway, I have a daughter. My wife and I met when I was 17 or 15. We dated and married ever since. I'm 45 years old. My daughter is Morgan, 15, son Dawson, 12. I have a dog named Lily, that's 8, a cat named Charlie, it's 4, and a dog named Max, that is 2. So I have, I'm the father of 5. All of my family members, their last name is Alba because my wife's maiden name was Alba. Her dad had two sisters. My wife had one sister, so the name Alba did not carry on. So every single one of my family members' middle name, just tell you something a little weird, is Alba, even the cat. So it's, Charlie, Alba, Simons, Kelly, Alba, Simons, Morgan, Alba, Simons. I think y'all get my drift. I know it's kind of weird probably saying it's this West Virginia thing, but anyway, my father is George Simons. My mother is Wanda Simons. They worked their tails off and taught my brother and I a lot about hard work. And, when you tell someone you're going to do something, do it. Your handshake means something. Good eye contact. You say yes, sir, no, sir. No matter how the age, whatever the age the person is you're talking to, I always refer to them as yes, sir, and no, sir, yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. I run the Jefferson Davis Youth Football League. In my spare time, I give back to the community. I love those kids, and I happen to run the Augusta Spartan football program. And our kids perform not only in school, they perform on the field, and they say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, and we teach them respect and teach them the principles of life. I've been in the auto industry for 24 years. I'm a first-generation car dealer, and I am the luckiest person, in the world. Let me take you through yesterday. So, I get up every day at about 4:15 to 4:30. I very rarely have an alarm clock set up, and I think a morning routine is so important to your success. I'm in a very competitive industry, which a lot of y'all guys are in business, and I know we're from all different walks of life. I know that the mix in this group is about half men, half women, and I know that we're not all in the car industry. That's all I've ever known, so I relate stuff to the car industry. So if you're not in the car industry, I apologize. But anyway, yesterday was an awesome day. Got up early. My wife and I typically would be at CrossFit right now, but the last time I tried to do CrossFit, they banged around too many weights in the background, and no one could ever hear me. So some of y'all were probably happy. But anyway, so I'm going to go to CrossFit at 6:30. My wife got to sleep in a little bit. But so our day starts off. My wife and I get up, and I get my mind right, and I do listen to a little bit of music and motivational videos. Eric Thomas is somebody I really look up to. And we go to CrossFit at about 5:15. Now, the reason why I go to CrossFit is this, and I talked about this before, and I hope I'm not, going back over stuff y'all have heard before. But anyway, I go to CrossFit because CrossFit pushes me outside my comfort zone. And I strongly suggest that everybody in this group, just because we get older, doesn't mean that we have to give up on our health. It doesn't mean that it's okay to be overweight. It doesn't mean that it's okay to not do the best we possibly can do. Just about 10 years ago, I was a very miserable person. I was miserable. I played the blame game. I worked a long time at a dealership and I wasn't getting my opportunity, and it was all about me, 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 me. I was, drinking about every day, wasn't taking care of myself, ballooned up to about 250 pounds. To give you an idea, I'm about 215 right now, give or take. And I just didn't take care of myself. And I really just didn't care. And just because we get older doesn't mean that it gives our right to give up. I go to CrossFit because it makes me feel young again, because it pushes me outside my comfort zone, because it's a community and it's always something different. So whether you do CrossFit or get up and walk or whatever you do, your power list or your what you're thankful for, it is so important for you to get up and get out of bed. Put your alarm clock across the room, set a couple of alarm clocks, get to bed early, and when that alarm clock goes off, feet on the ground, butt out of the bed, and get moving. And if you get moving, it'll get you going, and it sets your mood for the whole rest of your day. So when I ballooned up like that, my wife looked at me and she said, "Scott, you're really letting yourself go." I couldn't even really bend over and touch my toes. I had a couple of shirts and jeans that you wear. If anybody's ever put on weight, it's a terrible thing to go through. You lose your confidence. But anyway. So my wife looked at me and said, "Scott, this ain't you. This is not who I married, and if you don't make some changes, you're going to, your blood pressure's up, blood pressure high blood pressure runs in your family, and you're not, you're going to, probably when I get remarried after you're gone, they'll walk your daughter down the aisle." And that really hit me. That really made me wake up. And loved ones, when they give you constructive criticism, anybody in your life, please listen to that criticism. They're telling you because they care. If people are critical of you, and as long as they're respectful of you, listen to what they have to say, because I promise you, it's only because they truly care. They care about you. So be open-minded, be self-aware. Self-aware is a word that I've been hearing a lot. Make sure that we're humble, make sure that we're self-aware, make sure that we know what our strengths and weaknesses are. Minimize our weaknesses and maximize our strengths. So to go back to yesterday, we go to CrossFit till about 6:30. I come home, I take a shower, get ready. I see my kids and my wife all get together and, talk about our day and, what we can expect. I leave the house at about 7:45. I have about a 30-minute ride to work. We go to, I get into work, and man, it's like we're Tasmanian devil. We've got 5 car dealerships, 180 people. I've got some of the best people in the world: Chad Arnold, Laura Campbell. I have an internal management team that helps me run this big moose of an operation because I'm the general manager. Well, I'm actually heavily involved in every single one of them. But anyway, day was a busy day, and it was an awesome day. At 3:16 yesterday, I look down at my phone. It's Glenn Lundy calling. Uh-oh. Okay, so, hey, Glenn, what's up, man? How can I help you? Hey, brother, how's the family? How's business? Glenn, I am doing fantastic. Everything's awesome. We need a little bit of a close here on the last couple days, and we need to we need to kind of dig these last couple days because we've had some weather. But my team will do it. My team will pull it out. He said, "Hey, bud, I need a favor." "Sure, Glenn, whatever you need." He said, "I need you to do Rise and Grind." "Okay, well, like next week or no, tomorrow?" Like it's 3:16, like tomorrow. And anybody knows me knows I take notes. I mean, you saw my fancy production that we did, when we got started. So I said, "Well, okay, man, I got you." You can't tell people you got them, and then when they call, you say, "I can't do it." When you say you got somebody and they call you, you man up, woman up, and you say, "You know what, I got you." So I hung up with him, and I had to go by a Christmas party. Christmas parties are starting earlier and earlier. As soon as Thanksgiving's over, your Christmas stuff goes up, which I love this time of year. And and had to go to a Christmas party. Then I had to come back and, and I could tell you when he told me, my palms got a little sweaty, self-doubt, crept in a little bit. And I started thinking, Glenn's so smooth. And these guests, Eric Thomas, I mean, you kidding me? Eric Thomas was his last feeling, and now it's me. I started feeling a little bit of, I'm not worthy. Maybe I should call him back, or maybe I should call Brian Benstock, or maybe I should call somebody else and see if they would help. Maybe I can't live up to their expectations. Maybe these people that admire and expect me will say, hey, you know what? This guy's a phony. He's a fraud. He isn't who we thought he is. And, I just sat and thought about him, and I said, you know what? I've had bigger challenges in my life. This is awesome. These people that I get up with every single day that we rise and grind with, we're family. If I fall, they'll pick me up. If I do terrible, they'll still tell me, you know what, Scott, you did a fantastic job and we all love you. This is what this group's all about. This group has not only changed my life, but it's changing other people's life. This is what I was thinking about this morning as I was getting ready for this, after I, calmed down and realized that I can do this. I am worthy. I do, I like Brian just said, if Glenn didn't have faith in me, I wouldn't be on here, and I am worthy. And I could ask any one of these people on here to do this tomorrow, and I know that you would get on here and you do the best you possibly would do because you care about the people in this group. And if you're genuine, and if you're humble, and if people see it, you can't fool people. You can't. The old sales tactics of fooling people, people see right through it. They see in your eyes. They see how you interact with people. They can tell that you're genuine. They look right here. And you look people in the eye when you talk to them. So Glenn asked me to get on the show. And once I got through a panic attack and calmed down, I said, you know what? I'm going to get on that show and I'm going to make that man proud. And I'm going to tell all these people, I'm going to pour my heart and soul into these people that I do life with. So this is my message to you today. And if you'd please share this message out for Glenn. Something I realized is we have 30,000 people in this group. The average person in this group has 2,000 friends. So if I did the math, 30,000 times 2,000, that's millions of people that we could invite into this group. And where we're sitting at is 30,000. Glenn has changed my life. Glenn has changed your life. Glenn can change other people's life. We can push this show. We can change lives, but we need your help. Glenn can't do this alone. I need to step up. Everybody needs to step up. We need to go to our friends list and invite as many people as we possibly can to this group so Glenn can make a bigger impact on this world. He sacrificed his time with his family. Doing this every single day, going live, let me tell y'all something. It's nerve-wracking. It takes commitment. It takes time. It takes time away from your family. It's a huge sacrifice. And what we can do for Glenn is we can push this message out and change more people's lives. Because I think we all want to leave this earth a better place than when we found it. We want to live to be missed. We want to make a difference in people's lives. That's what I want to do. It's not about status. It's not about money. It's not about any of those things. It's how can I make a difference in people's lives, and how can I leave this earth a better place than I found it when I was here, when I came. So these are some of the things that I want to pour my heart out to you this morning. And I'm going to try to keep this, fairly limited because everybody knows that my mom's is an Italian, and us Italians like to talk. I know Anthony's on here, and I know that you get he and I together, and there's not many other people going to get many words in. But anyway, I want to talk to you real quick. And first thing I want to tell you is coming into this time of year, for some people, this time of year can be extremely difficult. It can be lonely. It could be catastrophic. It could be a really tough time for people that you care about. So I ask you to reach out to anybody that you know that doesn't have a family or that's going through something, and invite them to your house. Invite them to your house. Tell them to come and do Christmas. We just got through Thanksgiving. Come do Christmas with you and invite them to your house. Don't let them be alone. Open up your home to them, make sure they have somewhere to go. And even if you just ask, they'll appreciate the fact that you thought enough of them to ask them to come do Christmas with you. I want you to forget about your past. There's a lot of people, including me, that have made mistakes in our past, things that haunt us, things that we can't, that we can't get out of our mind. We must forgive ourselves. We must forgive ourselves. We must break away from what happened. We must forgive ourselves and do better going forward and release ourselves of those chains. When you hold on to something that you've done in the past and you let it haunt you, it is going to ruin your future. So I'm telling you right now, forgive yourself for anything that you've done in the past and work as hard as you can to make up for it for the rest of your life. So if you've done something you're not proud of, wipe it out of your mind. Don't ever do it again, and make up for it. Make up for it. So if you don't want bad things, go do 10 good things. The feeling when you give to others and you do for others, I can't describe it. I can't describe it. You get an adrenaline rush when you go and help others that replaces anything monetary, and it replaces anything else in your life when you go and you give without asking anything in return. So I'm asking each and every one of you, if you have made a mistake in your life and it has haunted you, let it go. Let it go. It's still haunting you. You have to let it go. The next thing I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to forgive. Forgive anybody that's ever done you wrong, no matter what they've done. I have made mistakes. I have also been ridiculed. I have been laughed at. I have been lied about. I have been, people have made up stuff about me. You know, as I've seen some success, and I'm very blessed. And I find that more successful you are, the more jealous people will get, and the more people could come out and really try to put you down. And what I wanted to say is today is, if you're holding a grudge against anybody in your life, for heaven's sake, if there's a family member that you have a grudge with going into this Christmas, I am going to ask you, I'm going to beg you, I'm going to plead that you reach out to that family member and you make it right. Even if they were wrong, even if they did you wrong, I'm going to ask you this in 2018, reach out to those people and apologize and welcome them back into your family, especially if it's your family member. If it's a friend and they've done you dirty, send them a message, call them and say, you know what? I apologize what happened, and I forgive you. I forgive you. What you'll do for that individual is very minuscule compared to what it's going to do to you, because you're going to break those chains that control your life, that you still worry about things that's happened in your past. I don't focus on my past. I don't. I focus on my future. I look forward. Family is most important. Your friends and your coworkers are right up there with them. But I can't move forward if I'm letting chains of what happened years ago hold me back. I can't sink my head down and say, you know what? That person did me wrong. I'm not going to talk to them. No, not this year, not this time. You're going to reach out and you're going to forgive them. And you know what? You're going to feel so good about forgiving them that you're going to thank me when you see me. You're going to say, you know what, Scott, you are exactly right. Because you're not only letting them go of what they've done to you, but you're also letting yourself go. And you can never truly flourish until you forgive. Trust me. Anybody knows Italians know that we are known to be your best friend or your worst enemy. I don't want any enemies. I don't want people. I don't want people to dislike me, and I dislike people. You know why? You know why? Life's too short. We see on our Rise and Grind feed all the time where people are going through trauma. We don't need to take our life for granted. We need to live every single day like it's our last, because you just never know. The next point I would like to bring up, forget your past, forgive anybody that's wronged you. If you have, we're going to go to a positive mindset. If something negative comes into your mind, I need you to pivot and think of something positive. I need you to not say it. It could come in your mind, get it out of your mind, and before you speak, think, is this negative? Could someone portray these words as negative? And if someone could view your words as being negative, harmful, cutting them down, I want you to not say it. I want you to replace it with something positive, or don't say anything at all. Being negative will not fix anything. Putting other people down to make yourself feel better, it shows a terrible reflection upon you. And I want you to remember this. The negative words that other people say to you about other people, they're going to go to other people and say those negative things about you. They are not happy in their life, and all they're going to do is just try to pull everybody else down. So when someone comes to you and they're being negative, first of all, don't you say anything negative. Replace it with something positive or just be quiet. If they are negative, I need you to look at them and sit and say, hey, you know what, Scott? I just don't want to get involved in that. Glenn has been really good to me. Glenn's been really good to my family. I like Glenn a lot. And I just appreciate it if you have anything positive to say, you just wouldn't say anything at all. There was one dealership that I used to work at, and negativity was just, it was just bred. And you know how I stopped it? When people came in to me and they wanted to say something negative or had a concern about somebody else, I said, hold up, stop a minute. We're going to go get that person and we're going to bring him in my office and we're going to settle this because I don't want this back and forth. So I'm not going to allow you to talk about them. If it's against company policy, if they've done something illegal, then let's talk about it. But if you just want to say something negative about them, they're going to come in here and they're going to defend themselves. You know what happened? The negativity was cut way down because I didn't participate. I didn't get involved in the negativity. So if someone is being negative, help to uplift them, help to change their mind. If you can't change their mind, then just simply go surround yourself with positive people. And the huddles that are there. We happen to have them some in the car industry, and just there's no negativity allowed. The next point I would like to make, if Sean Hayes is on here, this is kind of a list. I'm kind of impressed with myself, to be honest with y'all. So my fourth point on my list to have a better life is when you tell somebody you're going to do something, do it. Your word, your reputation, it means everything. People are going to damage your reputation if you, some people will, if they're negative, but don't give them any more fuel for the fire. If you tell somebody you're going to be there at 8 o'clock in the morning, be there at 7:45. If Glenn Lundy calls me and says, Scott, I need you to go on tomorrow morning. Sure. What do you want to talk about? He said, be you, go for it. Okay, Glenn, I got you, man. Not a problem. Because you know what? I told Glenn I would do that for him. I told Glenn he could call me anytime. And if he ever needs anything, I'm there for him. He's my boy. So you know what? He called me. Boom, I'm here. I got my production team, my son and daughter on it. We got all this fancy stuff. We don't have videos, but we got all our fancy stuff. We know what day it is. We're ready to roll, We ain't gonna let this hold us back. Don't have any fancy music, don't have any good YouTube videos, but I got y'all. So the last point I want to make, the fifth point is this. Love on people. It's okay. I think in this world, we try to be a little bit too macho. We don't really want to show our emotions. Our parents really didn't show our emotions. I happen to hug my employees. I happen to tell my employees that I love them and I care for them. I happen to tell people in this group that I love and care for you. That doesn't mean I'm any less of a man. That doesn't mean I'm any more of a man. I just simply love on people. And if you love on people and if you're a positive influence, people are attracted to you. And when you start thinking, what can I do for them instead of what can they do for me, your life will skyrocket. That's when my life really skyrocketed, is when I said, you know what? I no longer thought about me. What can I do to serve them and to serve them without asking anything in return? To answer the phone call at 2 o'clock in the morning, to get up and go help them move some furniture or do whatever they need me to do. They know when they call that you should be there for them, and I should be there for them too. So love on people. It's okay. It's okay for me to sit here and look at this and say, you know what? I may not have ever met a lot of y'all in the flesh, but I love each and every one of you. And I thank you so much for everything you've done for my life and all the positivity you poured into me. I'm nothing special. I'm surrounded by a bunch of special people That's what I am. And I'm positive to them, and I try to uplift them. I know y'all have heard this story before, and I need to tell this story, and I'll try not to get choked up. And I know some of the people that went to Hustle and Grind, which if you did not get a chance to go to Hustle and Grind this past, in Orlando, I'm telling you right now, go to hustleandgrind.com and sign up. It is life-changing. It changed my life. It's the best conference that I've ever been to. It is awesome. But there's one part of this story I need y'all to hear, and it's a little tough for me to talk about. So in our dealership, we mentor people. We mentor 20 people. We do life. We talk about personal things. We talk about credit. We talk about relationships. It is off the HR grid. This is life. It's kind of like a men's life group, but it's men and women. It's everybody. And one of the people in the group that I dearly love, he was going through some things. He went through some traumatic things in his life that I would hope none of y'all ever would have to go through. He lost a daughter that was murdered. He went through a nasty breakup all in the same time. He went through a terrible thing that would have brought a lot of us to our knees, that would have broke most strong people. He went right through it. And he came to me and he said, hey, boss, I have an open door policy. You could come in my office and talk to me anytime you want, and I'll make time to talk to you. If I don't have time, I will find you, but I have an open door policy. And this gentleman came into me. Now, let me tell you something. This is a good-looking, intelligent, looks like The Rock. I mean, mini version of The Rock. No, there's only one Rock, but let me tell you something. He's a good-looking fella, and he's got a lot going for him, and he got knocked down to his knees. And he came to me and he said, Scott, he said, boss, I quit. And I said, well, wait, Bo, what do you mean you quit? He said, I quit. And I said, well, okay, let's grab a seat. Let's talk about it. And I could tell he was agitated. He wouldn't make eye contact with me. He was fighting back tears. And I said, well, where are you going? He said, I'm leaving the area. I'm getting out of the car industry. I quit. And I said, well, you can't quit. I'm not allowing you to quit. Let's sit down. Let's talk about this. Like, if you're truly unhappy and you're going to go do something better, then that's okay. But you and I are going to talk about this. I'm not quitting on you. You're not quitting on me right now. Now, if you could talk to me and explain why, you're not just quitting and walking out. This ain't happening. No way. Because I felt like something wasn't right. And he sat down and he was agitated and he was pretty emotional. And, I went through everything with him. Where are you going? Well, I'm going to, Northern Virginia. What are you going to do? I'm going to sleep on my brother's couch. Wait a minute. You're going to give up a job and you're going to go not have a job. And so it came down to it is he made some bad decisions. Sometimes in life, we try to buy people's love. Sometimes in life, we try to buy our own happiness. You cannot buy your own happiness. Happiness comes from within. It comes through your heart. It comes through how you treat people. It comes through how people treat you. You cannot buy happiness. Money makes life a little bit easier, allows you to give. It gives you some freedoms, but money's not everything. And there's a lot of miserable people out there with money. Money it allows you freedom and allows you to help people. So anyway, come to find out, he had made some decisions and he got a little bit behind on a couple things because he went through some traumatic things anybody would. So I looked at him and I said, hey man, here is how much you past due. And he said, $2,000. Well, it was too late to get it through HR. I said, here's check, $2,000. So his objection was, I need $2,000 to get up to date and get on my feet. Here's $2,000. So a couple months went by. He started flourishing. He did awesome. He's one of our best associates. He's flourishing. This was back in like February, March. So we were doing our life group, our mentorship, and I asked every person in there to pull their credit and bring their credit bureau because there's some people that don't realize how to read their credit bureau. They don't know that, the better your credit rating, the lower interest rates you pay. So we do life. Well, a couple people didn't take this very serious. They didn't bring in their credit. They just kind of aloof, they kind of just, whatever. So this gentleman stood up in this group because he got really frustrated that these people didn't take time. They didn't respect everybody else's time. They didn't put forth the effort even for help. We were trying to help. And this gentleman stood up fighting back tears and he said, listen, there's 20 people in this room. There's a lot of people that would like to be in this room. This person and these people volunteer their time for us. He's asked us, he's trying to help us. Laura's trying to help us, my assistant. They're trying to help us. Y'all need to take him seriously, because let me tell you something. That man saved my life. And everybody in the room kind of was quiet, and we didn't really know what he meant. And he said, the day that he went back and he said, there was months ago I came to Scott, and in my closet I had tied up a noose, and I was coming to tell Scott goodbye. I was coming to tell all of y'all goodbye. And Scott wouldn't allow me to leave. Scott wouldn't buy my story. Scott made me sit down. And Scott I couldn't go do it because he was there. He cared about me. And all I wanted to know was somebody cared about me. And yeah, so to this day, he's still got that noose in his closet. So what I want to tell y'all is, what you say and do, does affect people's life. It affects them, and you can make a difference in this world. He credits me for saving his life, but I think in essence, he may have saved my life and saved other people's life. So what I want to tell you is you never know what difference you can make in people's lives, what your words mean to people. Taking time and letting people know that you care about them, taking time and letting them know that you love them, could save somebody's life. So this is my message that I wanted to get through you. And out of respect to Sean Hayes, I want to go back through my list, because I'm not typically a list person. Forget your past. Let it go. Let it go. Learn from it. Do better. Let it go. Forgive anyone that has done you wrong or perceived you've done them wrong, or let them go. Let them off the hook. You're letting yourself off the hook more than them. If you're thinking something negative, don't say it. If someone comes to you saying something negative, they're talking about other people, don't allow it. Don't allow it. Don't allow negativity to creep into your life. Don't do it. Do what you say you're going to do. If you tell somebody you're going to do it, be a person of your word, do it. And do it to the best of your ability. Love on people. You never know what people are going through. You never know. One word, one act of kindness could literally save somebody's life. In the ending, and I really appreciate everybody that tuned in today, and I hope that I brought you one positive thing that you might be able to go and implement through the rest of 2018. Look at your goals from this year. See how your goals, you should have personal, professional goals. Go back and say, okay, how did I perform with my goals this year? Set your goals for next year. 2019 is right around the corner. Go on and think about, these are the things personally I want to achieve. These are some things professionally I want to achieve. This is what I want to improve in my life. 2019 is right around the corner. I am going to ask everybody a favor. If you would please share this, I would sincerely appreciate it. And I know Glenn would appreciate it. It's not about me. It's about Glenn's message out there. I'm just a substitute today. I'm just filling in for somebody that leads us all, that was called to come in here and pour my heart and soul, into you today. I would like us all to do me a favor. I'm asking you to do me a favor. I'm asking you to shoot a quick live video on what Glenn means to you. So what Glenn, leading this 30,000 people and changing people's lives, what does Glenn mean to you? We can, call it a challenge. You don't have to go for 2 minutes. You can just go for 30 seconds. But Glenn sacrifices a lot. I kind of got a taste of what he goes through. And when you're interviewing somebody and there's two people, it's a whole lot easier. When you are here by yourself and talking to a phone, seeing all your expressions, with the live button up there, it's a little bit different. It's difficult. He comes up with stuff every single day. But I want all of us, I want you to do the Rise and Grind. I want you to hashtag Rise and Grind. And I want you to do a live video of what Glenn Lundy means to you. How he's impacted your life, how he's impacted your family's life. We need to let Glenn know, and we need to get out to the world what Glenn means to us. This is a tremendous sacrifice. These notes, what he does, this is a tremendous sacrifice, and we need to give back to him. We need to share his message. We need to get this out. There's 30,000 people with 2,000 friends. We can reach millions of people. And I want other people's lives to change like my life has changed. I'm a better person. I'm a better human being since I joined this group. And all these wonderful people that are across the top here that are putting all these kind things across the bottom that they're saying about me and saying about Glenn. So I'm asking you, shoot a live video and just tell Glenn what he means. Glenn, I love you, brother. I thank you for everything that you've done for me and my family. I appreciate all the sacrifices that you have made for all of us. We're all better human beings based on meeting you and going through this journey called life with you, and your sacrifices from your family and your work and everything that you do. We sincerely appreciate. We want to lift Glenn up because Glenn has lifted all of us up. So I'm asking each and every one of you to go to a Facebook Live and let's tell Glenn how much we love him and how much we appreciate him. If you would do that for me, I'd appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. If you want Rise and Grind planner, any Rise and Grind gear, I love my Rise and Grind gear. I wear it everywhere. If you want any of this, please go to glennlundy.com. Also, Hustle and Grind is coming up in April. It's life-changing. If you would please go there, I would love to meet you, shake your hand, give you a hug, and love on you a little bit. But this is what I want to tell you before I get off here today, and I really appreciate everybody being here this morning. I want to tell you that you are an amazing human being, uniquely made by the God of gods, the God of the universe, to be the best version of you every single day. I love each and every one of you. I appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. I hope you got something out of this message today. I hope that you'll all come back tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. as Glenn Lundy will be back and the substitute won't. I'll be doing CrossFit and I'll be listening. But if you'll please come back tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. and Rise and Grind, I would sincerely appreciate it. Thank you all for your time this morning. I admire and respect and love each and every one of you. And I hope you have a fantastic and positive day. Love you all.